Thank you, Mark. And here we are at Molineux, one of the great old grounds of English football, which actually over the last couple of minutes, Chris Sutton, has filled considerably. There were a few bright orange seats clearly visible, but this looks very close to a full house, wouldn't you say?
Yes, you're right. The last 5 minutes, it's looking pretty full. Brilliant pre-match show. Let's hope the game lives up to that.
Yeah, the fireworks were fizzing up into the West Midlands night sky. The flamethrowers, actually you could feel the heat of them on your face. They were on the near touchline here, both sides out there, and captains James Milner and Connor Cody, formerly of Liverpool of course, are tossing the coin with Paul Tierney, tonight's referee. So just underway here at Molineux, and the smoke just drifting away after that pre-match pyrotechnic show. I'll just go through the teams for you. 6 changes for Wolves. John Ruddy is in goal. Ryan Bennett, Connor Cody and Willy Bolly are the back 3. Johnny Otto and Ruben Vinagre are the wing backs. Leander Dendoncker, the Belgian international, is alongside Ruben Neves in the centre of the park. Wolves have a throw-in on the far side at the moment in their own half. Joao Moutinho will support Diogo Jota and Raul Jimenez in attack. Wolves have another throw-in on their right-hand side, just in front of the travelling Liverpool fans on the halfway line. Liverpool 9 changes from that 2-1 defeat at City. Simon Mignolet's in goal. 18-year-old Rafael Camacho at right back. Fabinho centre-back alongside Dejan Lovren. Alberto Moreno's at left-back. Curtis Jones, he's 17 on the right. Milner, Keita in the centre. Shaqiri on the left. Daniel Sturridge and Divock Origi are up top. And here are Wolves with their first attack. Vinagre into the side of the penalty area, trying to get a cross over. It was blocked successfully, and Liverpool can bring the ball clear up to the halfway line. It's Camacho, and he concedes the throw. Chris Sutton.
He did well, didn't he, Camacho, to get that block from the cross. Fast start by Wolves. The ball out to the left-hand side. Vinagre trying to whip the ball in. To block it, Camacho.
Vinagre very high up, as you would expect a left wing-back to be, and he tried to get that cross in, and he sliced it wide, and Camacho was tight to him. And it's a goal kick for Liverpool. Simon Mignolet to take it. He's only played twice in the last 12 months. The other was the FA Cup 4th round defeat to West Brom. He started against Chelsea earlier in the EFL Cup. That was a home defeat. He hasn't played in the Premier League since January the 1st of last year. So a rare start for him. Stephen Warnock mentioning that Alisson has been on R&R back home in Rome, so he's got the day off, as well as Virgil van Dijk. But the bench is very strong. A reminder that Firmino, Mane, Salah and Alexander-Arnold are amongst the substitutes if required later on. Liverpool in possession, stroking the ball across their back line. Fabinho, who is a centre-back tonight, in field to James Milner, who returned from that hamstring problem and started at the Etihad in what was a pulsating Premier League game that has set the title race up quite beautifully going into the new year. Fabinho again. Here's Alberto Moreno. A rare start for him, and it's patience so far from Liverpool.
Yes, it is. In Liverpool set up as a 4-4-2. Origi and Sturridge up top. I think we'll see Sturridge drift here, there and everywhere to try and get on the ball. Origi will play higher up as a conventional centre forward, but if you're Wolves, you're looking at Fabinho, not a recognised centre half, and looking to try and expose that area.
Moreno was making the long run forward. It was Milner who tried the ball over the top to find him. Liverpool have it, corner of the area through Sturridge. Now it's Moreno, falls to Sturridge in the penalty area. Neves back to hook it clear, only as far as Naby Keita, who was on the bench for the last 3 Premier League games. Jurgen Klopp admitting he perhaps hasn't discovered the real pace of the Premier League yet. Xherdan Shaqiri was dispossessed halfway inside the Wolves half, and now it's Vinagre who has it on the left-hand side. The flag is up. He threaded it through to Diogo Jota, the Portuguese, one of the 7 Portuguese players in this Wolves squad, on the inside left channel, but he'd just gone into an offside position.
Yeah, he hadn't. He didn't need to go early. Liverpool holding a really high line. The ball out on the left-hand side from Vinagre, slid the ball through. Well offside there. Lovren, worry for Liverpool. Lovren has gone down,
and he's clutching the back of his left leg. Well, this is the problem area for Jurgen Klopp. Joe Gomez is out.
Yep.
Joel Matip is out. Virgil van Dijk isn't even on the bench. and the change, it seems, is going to be made. He's already got Fabinho back there from midfield, and this looks like it's serious enough to end the game for Dejan Lovren. So this is a real problem for Jurgen Klopp here in the opening minutes at Molineux. 0-0, and it looks like we're going to see a bit of Liverpool history here. Kiana Hueva, 16 years of age, the young Dutch defender, is going to become the youngest Liverpool player ever in the FA Cup, and he's coming in and he gets a big Klopp hug. That's the biggest Klopp hug I've seen for a few weeks, actually. Yep. So he'll be feeling great about things coming onto the field with number 51 on his back. But problems here for Liverpool defensively, with Dejan Lovren just slowly walking. He's had a word with Jurgen Klopp, and he's slowly walking down the tunnel now, and his day is done. So what has this done tactically for Liverpool? Is Hueva going to centre-back?
It looks that way. Well, one thing, he hasn't had time to sit on the bench and get too nervous as he's been thrown in. But what Liverpool are going to miss is that physical presence from Lovren at set pieces.
Ruddy sends it long, and it's with Keita just inside the Liverpool half. Nice pass with the outside of his right foot to Moreno, who's up towards the corner of the area. The chip comes in towards Daniel Sturridge, and John Ruddy down low smothers that before Sturridge could take advantage. A lovely ball in by Curtis Jones.
Yes, it was. Jones on his right foot off the left hand side. There's the ball to Origi, and there's a good run from Sturridge. I think Ruddy pretty happy. He's got his first feel of the ball there. Timely interception.
So Hueva's only the third 16-year-old ever to play for Liverpool. He follows Jerome Sinclair and Jack Robinson a few years ago. He turns 17 later this month, and he is signed from Ajax. Very, very highly rated, as Stephen mentioned. Wolves in possession. Jota.
They've had one or two. It's the conveyor belt at Ajax, haven't they? But what a chance this is now, Arlo, for Wolves.
Well, he started his first under-18s game in September. By November he was playing in the under-23s. So Fabinho alongside him at the heart of that Liverpool defence in all red, traditional all red for them. And when we're remembering Bill Slater as the ball's rolled back to Simon Mignolet, Wolves in their old gold shirts, black shorts and old gold socks. Rolled out to Keita on the edge of the penalty area. Mignolet chips it to the right hand side towards Shaqiri. He brings it down in space near the touchline with his chest, and it's an assertive pass infield by Hueva to Milner, and he'll be happy to have someone of the experience of James Milner, who's over twice his age. He just turned 33 behind him. The ball threaded through, and the flag is up on the near side as Daniel Sturridge took possession of the ball on the left side of the penalty area, just inside the 18-yard box.
Yeah, how good was that skill from Keita? Liverpool in the midfield, couple of step overs, breezed through the Wolves midfield, and Sturridge in the left-hand channel. Oh, it's a very, very tight one. I think the assistant gets that one right. Brilliant from Keita. Gets away from Martino.
Free kick to Wolves. John Ruddy will take it just outside of his own penalty area. First choice in the Championship last season, of course, number 2 to Rui Patricio this season. He did start both Carabao Cup games, but hasn't appeared in the Premier League thus far. The former Norwich man, who had 9 loan periods away from Everton, never appeared for the first team, but certainly found a home at your old club, Norwich City, for a few seasons.
Yes, really well thought of at Norwich. Good goalkeeper, even at his age. I'm sure he'll be feeling the nerves. Full stadium tonight here at Molineux. Big game, but the opportunity for Wolves now to exploit this weakened Liverpool lineup.
Camacho was quick to anticipate the ball from Neves wide to Vinagre. He intercepted it quite brilliantly, but then given away by Sturridge. And here's Raul Jimenez, right hand side for Wolverhampton Wanderers, facing his own goal. He rolls it back to Neves, and now back to Ryan Bennett, the right side of the 3 centre-backs, but he's given it away to Camacho, coming forward for Liverpool, trying to find Divock Origi, who scored that quite bizarre, a 96th minute winner in the Merseyside derby recently. Wolves on the attack, and here comes Jota, wide on the right hand side it goes, the shot comes in, it's deflected, and it wasn't far wide. And it's the game's first corner kick, and you can hear the response of a near full house here at Molineux.
Well, that's how they like it, Wolves. Have that three at the back, turns into a back five. They like to counter at pace. That is their threat. That's when they're at their best. A deflected shot. Ioni goes wide.
Corner be taken here by Neves. Swings it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Flicks off a Liverpool head. Jimenez almost got there on the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's come out to the left-hand side to Vinagre, and that's a disappointing ball in by him. But a heavy first touch by Keita. And who's that come off last? Paul Tierney, the referee, says it's a Wolves throw-in on their left-hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. So they're just exerting some pressure here, the home side.
And they have that size advantage, don't they, from set pieces, with Lovren going off. It's a big loss to Liverpool. A long throw from Ryan Bennett on this left-hand side.
The number 5 winds up. That's a very long throw into the penalty area. Fabinho heads it clear. The edge of the area, the volleyed effort comes in from João Moutinho, and it's easily over the crossbar, and it's a goal kick for Simon Mignolet in Liverpool. 0-0. 10 minutes gone at Molineux. FA Cup third round. The draw for the fourth round to come at around about 9:45 live on 5 Live later.
Liverpool was Camacho, who's a right fullback, is playing so high up as a right winger when Liverpool are in possession, with Jones off the left-hand side.
Free kick to Liverpool. There's a foul by Moutinho on Sturridge. And it's about a yard or two in from the left touch line, 10 yards inside the Wolves half. Moreno wanted to take that one quickly. Camacho was bursting forward. He's very high up on the right-hand side. Shaqiri's playing on the right. 23 on his back for Liverpool. Been in good recent form. Plenty of action in the Premier League. And here's Hueva, the 16-year-old, pressured by Jota, and he rolls it back to Simon Mignolet in all light green. Blue boots for the Belgian goalkeeper and blue gloves as well. Hueva sends it long, flicked on by Divock Origi to nobody in particular, and Connor Cody, formerly of Liverpool of course, nods it back to his goalkeeper John Ruddy. Connor Cody, who was born in St Helens, only made 2 appearances for the first team. One was against Angie Makachkala in the Europa League, as Ruddy, he was left a little bit short by that back pass, and he hooked his clearance out for a throw-in, and he says he's got his shirt, Connor Cody, framed on his wall at home. No one, he says, can take that away from me. A Liverpool fan through and through, but not tonight. Hueva, the ball back in the Liverpool half. He's 10 yards or so short of the halfway line, into the feet of Daniel Sturridge, who somewhat anticipated a challenge from Willy Boly, and here come Wolves on the counter-attack. The ball through towards Vinagre is too straight, too long, too heavy, and easy in the end for Simon Mignolet.
You can see they're just sitting in and waiting to pounce there. Pass overweighted, was an opportunity. Camacho, the consequence of him playing that high up. Vinagre and Wolves in possession, getting the run on him.
Hueva passes it back again to his goalkeeper, edge of the area, and he rolls it out to Fabinho. He was trying to find Sturridge, but it was straight to the chest of Ruben Neves, and now Wolves can build on their right-hand side. Here's Raul Jimenez, the Mexico international, gold medalist at the London 2012 Olympics. Now Moreno for Liverpool. Infield it goes to James Milner, and he bends the ball towards Divock Origi, and it's Bennett who sends it up into the night sky. A little bit of a scrappy period of play, but Naby Keita wants to do something about that. A full 360 pivot in possession, then he's closed down, he loses the ball to Diogo Jota, who's going to have a run here, and he's dragged back by the Liverpool captain James Milner, who may be slightly fortunate to get away with a yellow card. Paul Tierney brandishes the yellow card. It was quickly out of the pocket, so James Milner has to be careful.
Yep, easy decision that for Paul Tierney. Jota getting away from Milner, and I think you'd say it was if there is such a thing, a good foul from Liverpool's point of view, just stopping that momentum of the Wolves attack.
Well, it's about 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. Ruben Neves is over it. Liverpool defending about 3 yards outside their penalty area. It's floated towards Boly. He wins the header. It's an excellent set-piece routine. Neves with the shot from outside the area. It didn't quite drop down for him on his right foot. No stranger to a spectacular goal from outside the penalty area, but that didn't dip enough.
Yeah, you probably expect a little bit more, seeing some of the goals he has scored for Wolves when he's stepping up 25 yards out. You fancy him to do better than that.
Cody, Wolves back in possession. It was sent long by Liverpool rather aimlessly. Here's Willy Bolly, who got on the score sheet at Wembley against Tottenham in that terrific 3-1 win over the festive period. And that was a day as well, Chris, where they set the traps around for Tottenham, who perhaps felt they got all 3 points secure. Long ball forward down the right channel for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That will go out of play for a goal kick, but healthy applause around Molineux for the idea. But they do like to spring into attack against teams that they perceive to be better than them.
Yep, and they, I mean, this season, the story of their season is they seem better suited to the better quality teams. They have lost to Liverpool, but in the league just before Christmas, but I think all the other top 6 teams have taken points off.
By the way, doesn't this have to change, Chris? Because Mignolet just took a goal kick. He's just done the same thing again. Now, Paul Tierney is coming across. As soon as Hueva, the 16-year-old, was closed down, he just stepped inside the penalty area and prevented the goal kick from going out. So hence it's retaken.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it was clever play from Hueva. He was under pressure and thought, do you know what? I'll get it retaken. So smart play from him. I know what you mean. Should it change? Maybe you're right, but I'm not going to criticise the 16-year-old.
Oh no, absolutely. He did exactly the right thing, because Jimenez was closing him down only about 2 or 3 yards away.
Well, we'll petition for a change, shall we?
Yes. When's the next IFAB meeting? Here's Mignolet, edge of his own penalty area. Hueva, the youngster, who has looked very calm and collected so far. Fabinho, left-hand side, rolls it into the feet of the youngster Curtis Jones. Now on the right-hand side for Liverpool, back with Hueva. Now Milner, who's in between the centre-backs.
He's like the quarterback, isn't he? Just sitting in front of those 2 centre-backs, making the play.
Hueva again, so Camacho is quite far forward on that right-hand side. It was a poor ball in field, and away come Wolverhampton Wanderers on the counter-attack again through Diogo Jota, and he just overruns it slightly, goes to ground, and in the end Fabinho, no nonsense, thumps it fully 60 yards all the way through to goalkeeper John Ruddy, who's in all blue tonight.
I think they've missed a couple of opportunities, Wolves, when they have broken out. They had the numbers on Liverpool again, and Jota just overran that ball. Vinagre getting in an advanced position on the left-hand side. Wasteful from Wolves. 17
minutes gone here at Molineux. BBC Radio 5 Live, the FA Cup 3rd round. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 0. The 4th round draw coming later. Which one of these two will be in it, or will both, in the event of a draw? Liverpool happy to build up slowly from the back this evening. Here's Fabinho, left corner of his own penalty area. And Wolves are happy to allow the Liverpool centre-backs to have plenty of possession. But then it's Jota, who almost closes down Hueva, but then Mignolet able to find Keita in the midfield, and here comes James Milner down the left-hand side. He finds Daniel Sturridge, who's playing in a deeper role behind Divock Origi tonight. Sturridge, who has scored 4 goals this season in 3 different competitions, in the limited appearances that he's managed so far.
The one at Chelsea, wow, that was very, very special.
That grabbed a point at Stamford Bridge to keep the unbeaten run going at the start of the Premier League season, didn't it? Here's Milner. Naby Keita. How do you assess Naby Keita so far? Because whereas Fabinho seems to have settled rather well, on ball forward by Hueva towards the edge of the penalty area, easy for Connor Cody, who finds his goalkeeper John Ruddy.
They knocked that up well. What Liverpool do have, and this was the criticism and has been for a couple of seasons, they now have strength and depth in that midfield, competition for places, and this is a big opportunity for Keita tonight to really send a message to Jurgen Klopp to prove himself. I think Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho and Milner, Only 3 places up for grabs.
And in those big games over the Christmas period, it was deemed that Naby Keita would sit on the bench for most of them, including the game against Manchester City last Thursday night. Here's Jimenez for Wolves, the centre-forward, number 9 on his back, facing his own goal inside his own half, and he plays it back to Connor Cody. And now it's with Leander Dendoncker. A rare start for him. Not the start to his Wolves career that perhaps he would have expected. The former Anderlecht man played against England in the group stage match when both had already qualified for the knockout rounds at last summer's World Cup. Got his first Premier League start recently. Actually, it was at Wembley in that match against Spurs. Volley sends it down the line. Neves helps it on its way. Milner wins the challenge, sends it up into the sky. Bolly wins the header against Divock Origi, and here's Hueva on the halfway line on the right touchline. Neatly into the feet of Camacho, who tries to turn, does well. Wolves keep it in possession though, winning the ball back. Moutinho, and that's beautifully played down the left flank by Diogo Jota. Vinagre was making the run, challenged by Camacho. Portuguese against Portuguese, and it's a Wolves throw-in on their left-hand side, about 5 yards outside the line of the penalty area.
Looks like it's going to be another long throw. Bennett up from the back, but as a consequence of Camacho playing so high up, there's a big gap in that left-hand channel, or I should say the right-hand channel of the Liverpool defence. The Wolves are getting most of their joy.
We've seen a close-up on our monitors here of Gareth Southgate, the England manager, in the crowd. Bennett sends it into the penalty area, almost reached the penalty spot with that one, and Curtis Jones will loft the clearance left-footed down the left-hand side looking for Daniel Sturridge. It won't find him. Jones has another attempt. It's a little bit untidy by Liverpool at the moment. And it's a nice-looking turn by Raul Jimenez. And he looks to switch the play to the left-hand side. Crowd looking for a foul called on Camacho. Paul Tierney says no. The sliding challenge comes in from Dendoncker, and Liverpool have a throw-in about 10 yards or so from the corner flag, maybe 15 on the right-hand side, and Camacho will take it. How have the youngsters fared so far, Chris, in red?
Yeah, I think that they've been bright. Camacho making a mark in the very early stages. He's playing so high up, and
there's a possible chance here. Well, but the flag's up on the far side. Diogo Jota on the left-hand side of the penalty area against Hueva. Would have fancied his chances physically, perhaps, but the flag was up on the far side.
Yeah, but Jota peeling in that channel I've talked about. It was very, very tight, that decision. Camacho just a couple of yards in advance of Hueva, the right centre half, and Wolves look like they're exploiting that area.
Mignolet dragged it back with his right foot and then sent it out to the left-hand side, and it's off a Wolves player last, Johnny, and it's a Liverpool throw on the left-hand side. Alberto Moreno to take just inside the Wolves half. 0-0.
Wolves are never going to get a better opportunity to beat Liverpool. And you look at the central defence pairing,
and their recent history, Chris, in the FA Cup has been very poor. Wolverhampton Wanderers knocked out at the first hurdle for them, which has either been the first round or the third round in 6 of the last 7 seasons. The only time they managed to win a third round match, or their first knockout match, was a couple of years ago at Anfield against Liverpool by 2-1. They went there, they were 18th in the Championship, and they sprung a surprise. Here's Milner, turns away from Neves, left-hand side, plays it out to Curtis Jones. Now Alberto Moreno. They're just sitting off a little bit here, Wolves. Moutinho closes him down now. The back heel from Moreno finds Curtis Jones. Moutinho sticking to his task. Jones with a bit of trickery that Stephen Warnock told us about before the game. He's trying to get past a couple of Wolves defenders, does so, stands up the cross, and John Ruddy makes the catch just outside the 6-yard box. But there's the first sign of what 17-year-old Curtis Jones is capable of. A nice piece of skill, a burst of pace down the Liverpool left.
Yep, first time we've seen him face Johnny up in that wide area. Good little step over and nutmeg Moutinho, and just a dinked ball in. Ruddy.
Long ball forward looking for Divock Origi. It's going to take a bounce here. The pitch was heavily watered beforehand, but it stays in play, and he turns away from Bennett. Still Divock Origi, now level with the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's got support on the left-hand side from Moreno. There's the cross, it's deep, no one at home at the back post for Liverpool. Camacho chasing this, but the ball rolls out of play for a Wolves throw.
Yeah, I think at the point of the cross, Liverpool really needed to load the box. It was only Sturridge centrally in the middle of the goal who was close enough to get on the end of the cross.
By the way, Liverpool's recent form in the FA Cup isn't great either. They've been knocked out by West Midlands sides in the last 2 seasons, Wolves, as I've mentioned, and West Bromwich Albion. They've been knocked out in the 4th round in all 3 years under Jurgen Klopp, so they'll be looking to go further, or perhaps, and I think it's fairly obvious with the team selection, that the priorities this season are the Premier League and the Champions League. The FA Cup very much in the bronze medal position. However, with the header clear, falls to the feet of Shaqiri. He tries to bring a bit of quality to proceedings with a left-footed ball inside the Wolves half to Divock Origi, but he's muscled out of it by Johnny. And the home fans enjoyed that, and Wolves have it back. Here's Vitinho. Vinagre is making a super run down the left-hand side. Camacho playing very narrowly, and there's the ball through. Corner of the penalty area. Vinagre, can he get a ball in? He's allowed himself to be closed down. Shouts of handball. I would have thought the proximity of Hueva was too close to the left wing-back. The ball spins away for a corner kick.
Absolutely spot on. Again, that left-hand channel. Vinagre crosses the ball, and I actually think it hits Hueva on the chest. But it would have been too close, 2 or 3 yards away. Did well to stop the cross, but danger for Liverpool.
Vinagre, and I think his teammates might be wondering why he didn't get a ball in slightly earlier when he had the opportunity. Maybe there weren't enough old gold shirts to aim for, but they do have a corner kick on their left-hand side. Ruben Neves will take it. He was on the bench twice over the Christmas period, rested in this his first Premier League season, and Vitinho it is who whips the ball to the far side of the penalty area. Willy Bolly got his head to it, but it's safely behind from a Liverpool perspective for a goal kick to be taken by Simon Mignolet. 0-0, 26 minutes, 5 live, the FA Cup 3rd round tie here at a very well populated Molineux on a Monday night under the lights. Here's James Milner. He rolls it out to the right hand side to Xherdan Shaqiri. And that recent brace against Manchester United, 2 deflected goals, they all count, having come off the bench. Scored against Newcastle as well on Boxing Day.
And when Wolves are out of possession, they're just happy to sit deep. They have that back 5 in place, and the 3 midfielders for Wolves working ever so hard.
Fortuitous bounce here for Xherdan Shaqiri on the right hand side, but he rather loses his footing and is dispossessed by Dendoncker, and he finds Vitinho. The ball forward all the way through, unfortunately for Wolves, to James Milner, and they've had the opportunities on the counter-attack, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and at the moment they're not taking advantage of them. The ball through towards Origi is well read by Willy Bolly. He cuts it out and finds Ruben Neves, but then there's a deflection that comes off Naby Keita, and Divock Origi was in an offside position, the flag up on the near side.
And Neves, little apology to his teammates, caught in possession, but it has been, Arlo, you're quite right, just that final ball, that little bit of creativity and composure which Wolves have lacked. They have players in their side who can make that final pass. They have creators in there, just need to take more care.
Liverpool fans making good noise in the lower tier of the Steve Bull stand on the opposite side of the ground to where we're situated. We're in the Billy Wright stand here. To our left is the Stan Cullis stand that's been redeveloped, 2 tiers, that looks jam-packed, and to our right the Jack Harris stand is very well populated as well. 0-0 at Molineux if you're just joining us. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool in the FA Cup 3rd round to round off a busy weekend. You're not missing anything at the moment. Paul Tierney just having a word with James Milner. Liverpool have a free kick halfway inside their own half of play, taken short to Shaqiri. He's just gone into the centre of the pitch hunting possession, really. He's been starved of it so far on this right hand side.
Yeah, he hasn't really had the influence which you'd expect in this game so far. I think he's been a fantastic signing for Liverpool. 12-13 million pounds from Stoke, question marks over his temperament, and with some crucial contributions this season.
I was astonished to discover before the game that you've never been to Molineux before.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me, Arlo.
That's the first one I found out this particular evening. Here's Fabinho. I'm not sure I want to know too much more, to be honest.
I'm with you on that.
Whoever chips it towards the edge of the penalty area. Shaqiri's there in a more advanced position. Conor Cody, in fact it was Bennett who got the header clear. Now he falls in the penalty area. Shot comes in from Shaqiri, didn't get hold of it. It fell fortuitously to him. It was a slip in the area by Ryan Bennett, and he rather hurried that left-footed effort there, Xherdan Shaqiri, and he was well wide.
Yeah, I think it was Johnny and Bennett, and neither taking responsibility. A lofted ball into the box, and you expect Shaqiri to do better. Good first touch with his right foot, and on his left foot just pulled the shot wide of Ruddy's goal.
Well, talk about calmness. 16-year-old Hoeva has just pulled that long John Ruddy clearance out of the sky, surrounded by Wolves players with a perfect first touch. Then he found a teammate. Liverpool looking to build down the right-hand side, but is overhit by Camacho. So talk about technical ability, confidence. Full house here, perhaps the biggest crowd he's ever played in front of. Well, he looks to the manner born in the heart of that Liverpool defence. Remember, if you're just joining us, Dejan Lovren substituted very early on, clutching the back of his right leg. It's a problem area for Liverpool. Fabinho has already been pulled back to centre-back. Joe Gomez is out. Virgil van Dijk is rested. Martip is injured as well. So it's a problem for Jurgen Klopp. But at the moment, Hoeva's done excellently alongside Fabinho, the Brazil international. Wolves have it on the right-hand side, but then Naby Keita and Curtis Jones, a combination of the two, win the ball back, but it's an aimless pass from Alberto Moreno, who apologises to Daniel Sturridge, and here's Willy Boly on the left-hand side defensively for Wolves.
Hasn't really clicked up top, has it, for Liverpool? Origi and Sturridge haven't linked up at all in this first half. Well, there was the one opportunity early on where Origi tried to pick out Sturridge, but it hasn't happened. A little bit of rustiness from the Liverpool forwards.
Nice ball by Conor Cody to the right flank and his fellow centre-back Ryan Bennett, but then Nuno Espirito Santo spins around in frustration as the ball is given away. Down the left-hand side is Divock Origi against Conor Cody. His teammates a little slow to join him. Two in the penalty area now, Keita and Sturridge. He goes square to Milner. Now here's Camacho, 15 yards outside the penalty area, surrounded by Wolves players. He pokes it back to James Milner. Run being made on the left-hand side by Moreno. Ball bouncing around on the edge of the penalty area. Boly gets there ahead of Naby Keita, who goes to ground, and Wolves have it back. And they've got a counter-attack possibility here, but it's wasted once again. The waiver in the way of that pass that was intended for Jota by Jimenez, and the chance is lost again.
Well done, young man, Hoeva. Timely interception, because Wolves had the numbers again. Vinagre roaring forward on that left-hand side. Another opportunity wasted for Wolves.
Milner gives the ball away to Boly, who finds Moutinho. Neves, ball over the top towards Johnny. It's a good one. He chested down in the penalty area. The cross comes in. It was a good one from that angle, but Mignolet managed to gather it at the near post. There was only one orange shirt, or old gold shirt I should say, to aim for in the penalty area.
I know what you meant.
People could be quite sensitive in these parts about that. Here's Camacho on the right hand side for Liverpool, who while wearing red, I think it's safe to say, no particular shade. Milner lofts it to the left hand side. It just takes a bounce and skips away for a goal kick. Curtis Jones was the closest Liverpool player to that. So scoreless, 33 minutes. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0 in the FA Cup third round. Arlo White and Chris Sutton with you tonight here at Molineux.
We're just seeing that raking ball from the left hand side over Moreno for Johnny in the box. It was well defended from Moreno.
Willy Boly for Wolverhampton Wanderers approaching the halfway line. Xherdan Shaqiri in front of him, so he goes square along the back line to Ryan Bennett. He's got a bit of room here, but he in turn decides to go back to his captain, Conor Cody. The white armband around his left bicep. He floats it nicely out to Vinagre on the left hand side, but the flag is up on the far side, and that's offside against Vinagre. Always frustrating when a player can see across the whole line, but it's the intent by Vinagre to get forward on that left hand side that is producing some decent moments for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But here's Neves. This could be another decent moment for them. Into the feet of Jimenez. Neves swings it wide on the right to Johnny. on his right foot. Neves again, back to Johnny. They're going backwards again though, Wolverhampton Wanderers, against a well-organised Liverpool side here. Neves, that's better, and down the right-hand side they go. And Jimenez tried to get the cross in towards Jota, and he's won his side the corner. In fact, it's the other way round, Jota towards Jimenez, and it's a Wolverhampton Wanderers corner on their right-hand side.
I don't think there's any doubt that Wolves have been the better team. They just haven't worked Mignolet enough.
So what can they do from this set piece? Willy Bolly, who did score from a corner at Wembley recently against Spurs, he's on the edge of the area with Bennett and with Dendoncker. Jimenez 2 yards outside the 6-yard box, and Jota was very close to the goalkeeper, swung out right-footed, and it was an important header by Daniel Sturridge with Willy Bonny just lurking in behind him, who would have fed off the scraps. It's floated back towards the penalty area, the header comes in down towards a Wolverhampton Wanderers teammate, but it's too straight, and Simon Mignolet is able to gather under no pressure.
Yeah, crucial from Daniel Sturridge, because Bolly was all alone. It was just the slightest flick from Sturridge in that near post space position, took it away from Bolly.
Alberto Moreno, and as we peer across at the Steve Bull stand, on the right hand side in between that and the Jack Harris stand, there is an office block over there, and all the lights on the top 2 floors are clearly illuminated. Now, who's working at this time of night, Chris, in an office block on a Monday night? I reckon there's a few Wolves fans up there, because it's darkness on the rest of the tower block.
Maybe a night worker.
Hueva for Liverpool, square to Fabinho. Now here's Naby Keita on the Liverpool left, picking up a bit of momentum into that Wolves half. Curtis Jones, in fact, he leaves it to Alberto Moreno, and it's a miscontrol by Milner, and they could be in here, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Raul Jimenez, he's got Jota alongside him, he could go all the way. Jimenez for Wolves, 1-0. He went all on his own, Raul Jimenez. The ball given away untidily by Liverpool, but he's still had a lot of work to do. A round of applause from Nuno Espirito Santo. Jimenez, Wolves' top scorer. It's his 7th of the season. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 0.
Ruthless Raul, and the one player you wouldn't expect in the Liverpool lineup to make a mistake, it would be James Milner, and then Fabinho sells himself, and Jimenez is away in the right-hand channel, and he just keeps going and going, draws Mignolet and beats him at his near post. Clinical from Jimenez, and I think Wolves deserve this, Arlo. They've been the better side, nothing really clear-cut up until now, but he gets his head up, Jota in the middle, decides to take responsibility himself, and it's a good finish.
I don't think he could quite believe his luck, Chris, that not one red-shirted defender closed him down.
No, but you talk about defensive instinct, and I know Fabinho plays in that midfield role as a sitter, but he dived in. Milner made the mistake. Fabinho dived in, sold himself, and then he just saw the space, Jimenez, and finished well.
Well, he scored in those huge wins against Chelsea here that ended a 7-match winless run, Raul Jimenez. He scored at Spurs in that famous 3-1 win as well, on loan from Benfica. And it's not his name that's being sung, it's Nuno Espirito Santos, I think, by a near full house here at Molineux. The home side Wolverhampton Wanderers lead Liverpool by a goal to 0.
Well, the one criticism of Jimenez this season is he hasn't scored enough goals.
Here they go again. Jota, left-hand side, looking at the far side for the flag to be raised. It isn't. It's a throw-in. The ball went off a Liverpool player last, and as you say, so uncharacteristic of James Milner to make the mistake. And then Fabinho somewhat dived in the middle of the park, and then all of a sudden Raul Jimenez was away.
Well, in that moment when Milner makes the mistake, what's the worst thing which can happen? And the worst thing which could have happened is Fabinho diving in, which he did do, and a one-on-one situation occurred. Jimenez absolutely ruthless.
Throw in near side. Bennett takes it long into that Liverpool penalty area. Bolly, that was an awkward looking jump. mooted appeals for a penalty. They can't get it clear, but in the end, it's offside. It was almost a one-on-one for Jota. It was a clearance, an attempted clearance by Origi that bounced back off a Wolves player. He was in the penalty area, Jota, but he was in an offside position, but Wolves have it back yet again.
Well, Fabinho got really lucky there because Jota read the flight of the ball better than him and had turned Fabinho and was in on goal. The flag went up.
40 minutes gone, but a very intense, loud, busy Molineux on this Monday night on 5 Live. They've got plenty to cheer about at the moment, the Wolves fans, who last won the FA Cup, their last of 4 triumphs in 1960. Liverpool, the last of their 7, was in 2006. John Ruddy in possession, and he's going to send it, I think, long into that Liverpool half.
And what an easy night John Ruddy has had so far. He couldn't have expected it, or he couldn't have expected to be so underworked.
And credit goes to Nuno Espirito Santo for playing a strong lineup. He did make 6 changes, but it was a home defeat at Crystal Palace where they didn't have their first shot on target until stoppage time, so changes were inevitable anyway. Keita for Liverpool, forward he goes towards the edge of the penalty area, and he could be in here, Moreno, but the flag's up on the near side. That was wonderful play by Naby Keita, and he delayed the pass just a little bit too long in the end, and Alberto Moreno, who was on the corner of the 6-yard box, was flagged for offside.
Moreno screaming, give me the ball earlier. There's Keita, good feet to get into the position. Oh, he is.
Very tight, isn't it?
Very, very marginal, but I think the correct decision from the assistant. Good feet, Keita, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. And Alberto Moreno, and he's misjudged the flight of that clearance. And the long ball goes in towards the penalty area. And it's gathered by Mignolet with Jota there or thereabouts. But Moreno hasn't had a happy time of it in recent times. He's told Spanish radio after Christmas that he's tired of the cold. His contract expires at the end of the season, and it's hard to see really a future for him at Anfield.
The truth is
so sparingly, isn't he?
Tired of the cold, and he's probably a bit tired of Andy Robertson as well.
And his emergence has been a spectacular find, signed from Hull City in the summer of 2017. Now a firm favourite, and undoubtedly the number 1 at left back for Jurgen Klopp.
Well, he's the number 1 left back in the Premier League. I think that's pretty undoubted.
Captain of Scotland now. He was playing in the Scottish 4th tier 5.5 years ago. He's now played in a Champions League final. Captain of Scotland, and
he's done it the hard way.
Yeah,
a lot of admiration for Andy Robertson.
Free kick to Liverpool. Milner goes backwards though. It was a third of the way inside the Wolves half of play. Here's Hueva. Difficult one for Naby Keita to bring under control under pressure, but he did so. Hueva now with a right-footed pass back to Simon Mignolet on the edge of his own penalty area. Approaching half-time here at Molineux. 1-0, the home side Wolverhampton Wanderers lead Liverpool in the FA Cup 3rd round. Mark Chapman will have the 4th round draw live on BBC One, and of course here on 5 Live later. And Vinagre's away down the left-hand side, and the ball was played rather straight. He had to check back for it, and that's enabled Camacho to get back in defence, and he tried to find Dendoncker, who was making a break into the penalty area. Couldn't quite find him, straight through to Mignolet.
I think he's shown signs of naivety, Camacho. He may be being told to play high up, but countless times Vinagre has got wrong side of him and has been in. And had Wolves been a little bit less careless, they'd be further in front.
Have Liverpool made enough changes? Has Jurgen Klopp made enough changes to this side that if they were to lose, Chris, and we can be, and the media are often accused of going overboard, and I wouldn't use the term crisis, but to lose 2 in a row, it's not exactly what he wants, but he gets a pass on this one if it stays like this, would he?
Yeah, I think so. He's clearly prioritising with the league and the Champions League, and can't argue with that.
Vinagre down the left-hand side again, and he curls a nice-looking ball, but it doesn't curl it enough around Fabinho, but his clearance, Fabinho's, falls at Vinagre again. Forward it goes. Moreno with some defending to do. It's fallen here to Jimenez in the penalty area, surrounded by red shirts, and it's James Milner that tidies it up, and they're struggling to get the ball out of their own penalty area at the moment, Liverpool. The high press was on, and it almost bore fruit there for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Well, Keita, crucial interception. Jimenez, I thought, should have got his shot off. He delayed, dragged the ball back inside. Keita nicked the ball off him.
It's untidy on the volley from Fabinho, who turns away in disgust. He had time, a side-footed clearance that went straight out of play by the Liverpool dugout. And we're going to have 3 minutes of time added on. They'll start in about 10 seconds.
I can tell you, Jurgen Klopp in his technical area waving his arms at Origi, saying, I want more, you need to give me more. And I think the same goes for Daniel Sturridge.
Here's Keita, an extravagant step over with his right foot, and to the left hand side he goes, still in his own half. Moutinho ahead of him, he rolls it into the feet of Daniel Sturridge, facing his own goal. Back it goes to Fabinho, and now Keita again, just wandering slowly into Wolves territory. Exchanges passes with Curtis Jones. Not a lot of urgency from Liverpool at the moment, and Curtis Jones is surrounded by Wolves players who hunt in packs, and they're on the counter-attack again, and Jimenez is challenged in timely fashion by Fabinho, and they're just waiting for a Liverpool player to be isolated. Then they close him down, they try and win the ball back, and then spring on the counter-attack.
Yep. Ruthless Wolves. They have been sitting in and waiting to pounce.
The strength of the Wolf is in the pack, it says on the middle tier of the stand colour stand on our left-hand side, and that's pretty much how they've approached the game so far.
Yeah, they've been snarling Wolves, haven't they, in this first half. And Liverpool, you have to say, I haven't said this many times this season, have been lame. Snarling Wolves and lame ducks.
What a wonderful description of this first 45 minutes. We are 90 seconds into stoppage time. The minimum of 3 minutes added on by Paul Tierney.
What is interesting, Arlo, because now early days, but you look at the Liverpool bench and you think, what Klopp has on that bench. When would he put a Salah on?
That'll be a true test of how much he wants to get through, won't it, Chris? Salah, Mane, Firmino is there as well. Mignolet clears it under pressure from Jimenez. Nodded back by Fabinho to his goalkeeper, and here's Hueva, the 16-year-old, the youngest ever Liverpool player in the FA Cup. The previous youngest was Ben Woodburn, who just turned 17 in recent years. Hueva back to his goalkeeper Mignolet. Now to the left-hand side it goes to Fabinho. They are slaves to playing the ball out, even in this situation before half-time. Hueva, side of the penalty area, and he's giving the ball away to Vinagre. They could be in here, Wolves. Vinagre towards the byline, low cross comes in, chance at the back post. Jimenez was there, left-footed, and it was an excellent block in the end, I think, by Fabinho.
Yeah, quite right, but the Wolves pouncing a high press this time. Hueva giving the ball away.
And there's the half-time whistle from Paul Tierney. A little bit of overconfidence by Hueva just towards the end of that first half. Raul Jimenez with the only goal so far. Chris, can you expand on your pack of Wolves and lame ducks in the first 45 minutes?
Well, Wolves have been outstanding. They deserve the lead, and maybe Nuno Santos thinking we should be further in front. Jimenez ruthless with his first real clear-cut chance of the game. Wolves should be further in front. You're looking at the Liverpool bench. Will Klopp make changes?
That's the big question mark as we head into the second 45 minutes here at Molineux. Terrific atmosphere, decent game. Wolves lead Liverpool by a goal to nil. Yes, they are, Mark. Thank you very much indeed. The second half about to get underway here. And Wolves in their old gold shirts, black shorts, old gold socks will be kicking from left to right. Liverpool in all red will be kicking right to left as we look at things here at Molineux. And it's Wolves who lead by a goal to nil. Raul Jimenez with the only goal of the game, and both sides as they were in the first 45 minutes. All the substitutes warming up at half-time. We got excited very briefly that we might see Firmino or Mane or perhaps even Salah. We yet might, Chris, but Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp are going with what ended the first half, and that's a side that showed 9 changes from that game against Manchester City last weekend. Here come Wolverhampton Wanderers, the first attack of the second half down that left-hand side, but it's run out of play. Some good defending from the 18-year-old Rafael Camacho, who's in at right back, and it's a goal kick to be taken by Simon Mignolet.
Yeah, and I think Jurgen Klopp at half-time, I think he would have been frustrated and demanded far more from his players. Yes, they haven't had a lot of football, not of the Liverpool starting lineup, but they can do more, and I think we will see a response in this second half.
Ball towards the right touchline, and Johnny, who was forward in an advanced position, but it's Alberto Moreno who performed the defending, and then it's a free kick to Liverpool. And I bet you Nuno Espirito Santo knows more about the Tammy Abraham situation than perhaps Maurizio Sarri does about the comings and goings at Chelsea. Now there's talk that he will come here on loan. It's with FIFA at the moment. They've got to make a decision over the next 48 hours because you can't play for three clubs in the same season. He's at Aston Villa and scored a lot of goals in the Championship, and it's whether the Community Shield and under-23 football at Chelsea that he played at the start of the season constitutes football at the top level. So that's with FIFA at the moment, and I'm sure Aston Villa fans are hanging with bated breath for that decision as well, because he's been the star of the show at Villa Park.
So much potential, still a young man, but I think Wolves, they want competition for places, but I mean, surely we count the Community Shield, don't we?
You would have thought so, but I think in terms of FIFA that goes down as a pre-season friendly.
Disrespectful from FIFA.
That's a different matter altogether. Headed forward by Wolverhampton Wanderers, falls to the feet of Naby Keita. Wolves, as they did in the first half, can bring it clear,
but get away with one.
Yeah, it's a foul on Naby Keita, who went to ground straight away. Paul Tierney, the referee, blowing the whistle, and it's Liverpool's free kick. James Milner is over it, about 10 yards in from the touchline, a third of the way inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. Daniel Sturridge on the edge of the penalty area. Fabinho's gone forward, so to Naby Keita. And Divock Origi may be a target here. Naby Keita made an early run, it's curled in, and they're outnumbered and outsized Liverpool in that situation, but the header comes in from Shaqiri, who was well found by Moreno on the side of the penalty area, but his header across the penalty area was cleared by Wolves. Into the Liverpool half, and the ball is kept in play. No, it's not. He was almost robbed there, whoever, the 16-year-old. It was Jota, was it, on that far side, who tried to keep the ball in play. He would have been clean through.
Sure he would. That was heart-in-mouth stuff, that. Cool as you like from the young man. He wasn't flustered. He knew the ball was out.
A reminder that Kiana Hueva, 16 years of age, came into the game very early for the injured Dejan Lovren and is playing centre-back. The signing from Ajax, who a lot of people at Melwood, Liverpool's training ground, are very excited about. Wolves attacking down the left-hand side. It's back with Neves in midfield. He's closed down by Shaqiri. Now it's Vinagre with a nice give and go on the left, but then he's outnumbered and does brilliantly to win the ball back. And Raul Jimenez is waving for the ball at the back post. It doesn't arrive. The crowd think that's a foul by Camacho on Vinagre. Paul Tierney said no, but then the ball has gone out of play, and it's been run out of play by the 18-year-old Camacho, and Wolves have a throw-in on the left, advanced position level with the edge of the penalty area.
He looks a player, Vinagre, as Bennett goes forward again for this long throw. A physical presence. Wolves think they've got the edge over Liverpool. Looks a good player, Vinagre.
4 minutes into the second half at Molineux, FA Cup third round. Wolves leading Liverpool by a goal to nil. The fourth round draw with Mark Chapman to come at about 9:45 tonight. The ball thrown in, the heads go up. It could have gone anywhere. Luckily for Simon Mignolet, it rolled gently towards him, but they do look dangerous from set pieces and these long throw-ins by Ryan Bennett.
I think it was Dendoncker who got the flick. It's a good weapon to have. Wolves looking to make a substitution.
Ivan Cavaliero, number 7, is just in front of us, having his studs checked by the fourth official, Andre Mariner, and he's going to be the first change. Wolves in possession just outside their own penalty area. And It's a slip by Johnny, and that enables Liverpool to take possession through Naby Keita, and he squares it to James Milner. Thought about the shot, Neves closed him down, he squared it to Shaqiri, but he's in the penalty area. Milner spins and shoots, that's blocked. Here's Origi on the edge of the 18-yard box. Oh, what a finish! Liverpool are level. Divock Origi, the hero in the Merseyside derby before Christmas, and it's a wonderful left-footed strike. John Ruddy with no chance, diving to his left, and Liverpool, poor in the first half, are level in the second. Wolves 1, Liverpool 1.
I tell you what a finish this is from Origi. Shaqiri tries to feed the ball into Milner, gets cut out. Origi, 18 yards out, right hand side of the box, shifts the ball right foot onto left, low back lift, and he hammers the ball into the back of the net. Ruddy's near post. It's a brilliant finish. Ruddy beaten by precision and power, and Liverpool, I don't think they've deserved it, but they are back in it.
Well, Wolves will make the substitution, and Jota has been replaced by Ivan Cavaliero. So interesting, Leander Dendoncker closed down Origi on the edge of the penalty area, and the shot went between his legs, and I think John Ruddy was unsighted initially, and it's gone into the corner. It wasn't perfectly by the post, was it? But it was a very clean strike by Divock Origi, and he's got the ball back, given away by Wolves, and he's trying to find Jones's teammate, but then it was played behind him and Wolves can bring it clear. Here's Johnny into the Liverpool half, trying to shrug off the attentions of Naby Keita. Raul Jimenez, the Wolves goal scorer, drops it back towards his teammate on the corner of the area, Johnny, but then Liverpool have it back, and all of a sudden we've got an FA Cup tie breaking out here, Chris. This is what we wanted.
We've got a proper tie now. Liverpool, they won't want the replay. They're going to go for it, and you just feel the fact that they are going to go for it, could that play into Wolves' hands, who love to counter?
Peering across to our left-hand side as the Liverpool fans are in full voice on the far side. I'd say they're warming up. Firmino is there, Mane is there, but they're static at the moment. Moutinho with a low cross into the Liverpool penalty area. The first defender, Fabinho, swings the left foot at that, but it falls here to Ruben Neves, closed down by Origi, tight to the right touchline, back into his own half to Ryan Bennett. And Neves, so highly rated, 21 years old, the playmaker, formerly of Porto, and he plays it back to Conor Cody, the former Liverpool man. Nice diagonal out to the right touchline, and here's Johnny, the right wing back to João Moutinho. What a career he's had. He swings over a long ball to the left hand side, but even the pace of Vinagre will not keep that in play. Round of applause from Nuno Espirito Santo in the Wolves technical area in front of us, but it's a Liverpool throw.
He probably can't believe it, Nuno Santo, that Liverpool are back in this game. The quality of the strike from Origi.
A lovely clean strike, and this time he didn't need the ball to bounce twice off the top of the crossbar and land at his feet 6 inches out. What a remark. Have you ever seen an end to a game like that in the 96th minute of the Merseyside derby? It was extraordinary. Origi on the score sheet for the second time this season, spent last season on loan at Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, and Liverpool are level. Vinagre on the left hand side facing his own goal, drops it back to Willy Bolly, the powerful figure running across field, left to right, does well to curl a ball into the feet of Raul Jimenez, but he sends it out of play, trying to find his teammate Johnny on that right touchline.
Yeah, just wonder with the substitution, Jota off and Cavaliero on, whether there was an injury, because very early in this second half when the change was made, Cavaliero pace and power.
Curtis Jones gives the ball away to Neves, and here's Dendoncker. He finds Cavaliero. Dendoncker, back it goes to Neves. Thought about the long range shot. Wolves fans get excited every time he takes the ball 30 yards or so from goal, and he's got it again. He'll have a go this time. Good strike! Incredible goal by Ruben Neves! He loves a strike from outside the penalty area. Liverpool must have known, but they didn't close it down. It's another fabulous goal of Molyneux. Neves with it, and Wolves retake the lead against Liverpool. It's 2-1.
Well, you just cannot give him this sort of time. and space. But what I would say, he's a long way out. Must be all of 30 yards. Picks the ball up. Wonder whether the goalkeeper should have done better. Mignolet, there's dip, there's swaz on the ball, right-footed. But to be beaten from that range, Mignolet, I think he may be unsighted at first, but I think more credit to Neves. It is a wonderful strike, a rip-roaring strike from Ruben Neves, and I think Wolves deserve it.
What an atmosphere we have at Molineux. And the FA Cup may take its knocks, but this is a real traditional FA Cup tie we've got here. OK, Liverpool have made 9 changes. There's a few teenagers out there, but listen to this atmosphere. The FA Cup is alive and well in the West Midlands, and Wolverhampton Wanderers are heading for the 4th round unless this Liverpool side, this makeshift Jurgen Klopp side, can claw their way back into it again. Ruben Neves' name is echoing around this great old arena. Fabinho for Liverpool sends it forward looking for Divock Origi. It's headed clear by Bennett, tidied up by Dendoncker, and now Willy Bolly with some poise. Oh, a lovely dummy by Moutinho. And that brings Johnny into it on the right-hand side. He did, by doing nothing, he did everything there as well, Moutinho.
Oh, wonderful awareness. Under pressure, let it go through his legs to Johnny. Now it's over to you, Liverpool. What have you got?
Wonderful ball once again by Neves. This time out to Johnny, right-hand side. Thought about to go with the left foot, then he tried to slide the ball in. That was very ambitious, and in the end, it was straight at Fabinho. Well, breathtaking strike by Neves. It was low down to Mignolet's right. It was in the corner. It was from a long way out. It wasn't in the class of the goal against Derby County last season. Did you see that one, Chris? When he flicked it up himself and rifled it in the top corner. Yeah, but it was a terrific strike.
Well, I think he's got a good DVD already, hasn't he? For wonderful strikes. He's brilliant. What a technician for one so young. Worrying thing for the Premier League. He is going to get better and better.
Just 21 years of age, signed from Porto, and he has signed a long-term contract here. He has scored twice in the Premier League, once from the penalty spot. There was a direct free kick on the opening day here against Everton, and that's a goal to remember and to savour. Raul Jimenez for Wolves, left-hand side, but he rolls it out of play, plays it behind Ruben Vinagre. Liverpool have a throw on the halfway line, and now there's a little bit more exercise going on amongst the Liverpool substitutes, namely Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, and that is a rigorous warm-up, which suggests that he'll be coming on.
Well, he scored here in the league game. Would you believe it was only 17 days ago at the start of the festive fixtures? It feels like 3 months ago already. Liverpool won 2-0 here. Van Dijk on the score sheet as well. Fabinho for Liverpool rolls it to the left-hand side to Curtis Jones, number 48 on the 17-year-old's back. Back it goes to Fabinho. He side-foot strokes a lovely ball infield to Shaqiri. Now Milner, right corner of the penalty area to Origi. Here's Camacho onto his left foot, rolls it back to Shaqiri. Angled cross to the back post. Moreno is there and he slides, and it's gone beyond him out for a goal kick. Decent looking ball, and they were almost in there, Liverpool, if Moreno had managed to get that and square it along the penalty area.
Yeah, that's where Liverpool can get joy. Quick switches of play against this back five. Liverpool a 4-4-2. Applause from Jurgen Klopp. Wonderful ball from Shaqiri, and Moreno marauding on into the Wolves box, nearly gets on the end of it.
We are approaching the hour mark at Molineux here on 5 Live. Arlo White and Chris Sutton with you. FA Cup third round, Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. A terrific atmosphere here, and a great ding-dong of a cup tie brewing. Are Liverpool heading for their second defeat in less than a week? Could Wolves be heading to the 4th round? We will wait and see, and the stretches are continuing away to our left with Wolves in possession in their own back line with Salah and Firmino down there. Alexander-Arnold also, perhaps. We shall see if Jurgen Klopp chooses to bring one of the big three onto the field.
Well, there's no point bringing them if you're not going to put them on. I mean, Mo Salah could be sat at home if Jurgen Klopp had no intention of playing him. So we'll see what the FA Cup means to Jurgen Klopp.
Liverpool in possession on the right-hand side inside their own half of play. James Milner pressured by Dendoncker, fouled by Dendoncker, takes it quickly. Here's Shaqiri, poor touch from him, gives it straight to Jimenez. Jimenez down the middle, it gets away from Fabinho, and there's some defending to be done here. It's not done, and he's almost in. It was the youngster who Jimenez managed to dispossess, corner of the 6-yard box, but then he just ran out of real estate, really, with Simon Mignolet on the scene.
Come on, I mean, dreadful defending initially from Fabinho, weak in the challenge, has to be stronger there. Jimenez runs through him. They get away with it. Keystone cops from Liverpool at the back.
Here's Fabinho again on the edge of his own penalty area. Jimenez just ran out of room, didn't he? When he wanted to be stroking the ball in from an angle with his left foot, it just hit his right and went behind.
Pinched the ball off a waiver.
Long clearance, Bennett got his head to it and flicked it to Johnny, facing his own goal. Back he goes to John Ruddy, the former Norwich goalkeeper, in for Rui Patricio tonight. Milner sends it towards Daniel Sturridge. Divock Origi was in an offside position, and Curtis Jones is fouled. It's 15 yards or so inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half of play, taken quickly by Milner, and poorly actually. Moreno did well to track that ball down and keep possession. Milner, that's more assertive, out to Jones on the left-hand side, into the feet of Origi, gets it back from Moreno. Here's the Liverpool goal scorer Origi, nice piece of skill on the left-hand side. Back to Curtis Jones. Possession, patient football here from Liverpool, but can they hurt Wolves again? Fabinho to the right-hand side, it goes to Hueva, infield by the centre circle to Milner. Fabinho again, nice ball into Shaqiri, he turns upfield. Camacho's away down the right-hand side. It's an excellent challenge by Vinagre, but the assistant on the far side saw a foul, waved his flag. Paul Tierney trotting across, and it's a free kick level with the edge of the penalty area near the right touchline for Liverpool.
Yeah, chance for Liverpool. Really good pace to the passing. Work the little gap on the right-hand side. Shaqiri on the half-turn, slides the ball. There's a foul. Looks like there's Shaqiri out there, and Milner, left footer and a right footer, over near that right touchline.
In the 64th minute here at Molineux, Shaqiri with the left foot out on that wing, or is it going to be Milner with his right? He is poised. Origi there or thereabouts, but it's Shaqiri in. It's an excellent ball, and Raul Jimenez, zonal marking on the edge of that 6-yard box. He got his head to it, and Ivan Cavallero perhaps can launch a counter-attack, but he runs into Camacho, who then sends the ball directly out of play on the Wolverhampton Wanderers left-hand side for a throw.
Yeah, it was a good ball, wasn't it? And Jimenez, right place at the right time to head the ball clear.
Jimenez to that right left-hand side on the touchline. It's all very tight across there. Liverpool have a throw. Rafael Camacho just inside his own half. Helder Costa is now warming up amongst a gaggle of Wolverhampton Wanderers substitutes. The bleached hair of Adama Traore. He's trotting in his yellow boots and his green bib. He can certainly move quicker than that. As we know, the ball is curled towards the run of Daniel Sturridge by Moreno, but it's defended well by Ryan Bennett. This back three for Wolverhampton Wanderers are a well-organised, well-drilled unit. The first choice back three sent out tonight by Nuno Espirito Santo, and it's Bennett, Cody and Bolling.
There must be Leicester City fans watching this game tonight, looking at Wolves and thinking, well, they've gone for it, why not us?
Very good question, Chris Sutton. Here's Keita, surging down the left-hand side, drops it off for Alberto Moreno, infield to Curtis Jones, and he switches the play, but Rafael Camacho is going to have to come back towards the halfway line to get that lofted pass. Back he goes to Hueva, and he's dallying on the ball on the halfway line. Wolves have it back. Jimenez lofts it across. They could be in here, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Vinagre on the left side of the penalty area towards the byline, the cut back to Dendoncker, but Fabinho got in the way and he just couldn't quite bring the ball under control, Ruben Vinagre, and pick his pass in the penalty area, but Wolves have it back again.
They just pounced on whoever, Wolves. Just get bodies forward, they burst forward. A lot of pace in the team.
And Hueva, who is clearly going to be a top-class player, has grown more untidy as the game has grown old, and I wonder if a bit of tiredness is creeping in. He certainly didn't look like he was feeling the pressure in the early stages. Remember, 16 years of age, not 17 until later this month, early on as an early substitute for Dejan Lovren. Liverpool seeking a second equaliser. Keita marching forward into the Wolves half towards the corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Here's Curtis Jones. Saw a good run down the left from him in the first half. Nice close control. Tries to wriggle between two Wolves defenders. It's off him last. It goes out of play and it's a Wolves throw.
Yeah, you can see he's got really good feet, Curtis Jones. The thing is at 2-1, and Liverpool haven't been great, but you just cannot write them off. We saw the Origi goal. There's so much talent in this team. Alexis Shaqiri, a wand of a left foot. Haven't seen much of Sturridge. We've seen him take opportunities this season. The one at Chelsea, an absolute stunner.
Jurgen Klopp would have hoped to have called upon the likes of Jordan Henderson and Adam Lallana, but both were lost in the final training session yesterday. Nothing serious, says Jurgen Klopp, but neither of them able to travel tonight. Long ball into the corner of the penalty area. It's allowed to bounce. There's a miscommunication between the defender and John Ruddy. It was Connor Cody who was running back towards his own goalkeeper, and in the end he cleared it high into the night sky, but Liverpool have it back. It was a tough looking ball to deal with for Naby Keita from Alberto Moreno. It kind of sort of cannoned off his head and spun away into the middle of the park, but that's a lovely turn on the edge of the area, and he's fouled there, Daniel Sturridge, by Connor Cody, and it's a free kick in a dangerous area. What's that, Chris? 6 or 7 yards outside the penalty area to the right of John Ruddy's goal.
Yeah, the good and bad from Cody there. I thought took responsibility when Ruddy didn't come, old school defending with a punt out of the box, and he got too tight to Sturridge, who drew the foul, and this is within range.
Xherdan Shaqiri has placed the ball down very carefully on that patch of green turf. Wolves, it looks like a 3 or 4 man wall. It's a 4-man wall. John Ruddy just leaning against his near post at the moment. That might be where Shaqiri will aim, over the top of the wall. They're just being forced back, the Wolves wall, half a yard or so. James Milner potentially with the right foot, but it's usually the man who places the ball down. It's a very square run-up by Xherdan Shaqiri. Ruddy poised half a yard off his line. 2-1 Wolves lead. Shaqiri with the left foot. It looks good! Oh, it's off the inside of the post. Would you believe it? How close can you get? Well, we saw Liverpool come within 1.12 centimetres of a goal at the Etihad the other day. How did this stay out, Chris?
Oh, I tell you what, John Ruddy doesn't give him much. You know what? I think he gets a fingertip to it. I think it is an unbelievable save from Ruddy. The slightest tip hits the inside of the post and somehow bounces to safety. It's brilliant from Shaqiri. Generates real pace and power over the wall. I think Ruddy touches it.
A stunning free kick, an even more stunning save by John Ruddy. The merest of fingertips was all it took to get that onto the inside of the post, and agonising for Liverpool. It went across goal and stayed out. A double substitution for the Reds. Mohamed Salah is on and Roberto Firmino is on. Daniel Sturridge and young Curtis Jones make way. So our question is answered. Jurgen Klopp has brought the big three, and 2 of them are on the field.
Well, here's the cavalry. Can Liverpool have a late charge? You have to credit Klopp, though. You know, he's brought Salah and is saying, well, it may not be the most important competition for me. The league clearly is for Liverpool, but I'm taking this seriously. I want to go through.
So Salah at the moment in a centre-forward position. Roberto Firmino just inside of him. We've got Divock Origi on the left-hand side of attack at the moment. And here's Alberto Moreno on the left-hand side for Liverpool, just inside the Wolves half. Square it goes to Keita. We've played 25 minutes of this second half, and it's been terrifically entertaining so far. Lovely ball down the flank by Milner. Camacho may have been flagged offside had he taken control of it. In the end, he runs out of room and the ball's behind for a goal kick, and I'm still breathless from that free kick a few moments ago and the save by John Ruddy.
It's unbelievable. There I was at the start of the game questioning the decision to play Ruddy, but that fingertip, and it hits the inside of the post after the fingertip, so it tells you what a save this is, what an important touch. Otherwise Liverpool would be ready.
It's like trying to ascertain a thin nick in cricket. You'd need, what was it called, Nickometer, Snicko. But it was the difference between that hitting the inside of the post and staying out, and hitting the inside of the post and going in. John Ruddy, it's a game of such tiny margins at times, and John Ruddy is the hero there, and the free kick was stunning from Shaqiri. But it remains 2-1 to Wolves, who at the moment are heading into the fourth round draw, which will follow this game around about 9:45 with Mark Chapman live here on 5 Live and on BBC One. And Matt Doherty will come in very shortly for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who's having a terrific season, the right wing back. Mo Salah collects possession on the left side of the penalty area for Liverpool. Conor Cody is the defender. Salah tries to find Firmino. It eventually falls at the feet of Naby Keita, but he runs into a couple of Wolves defenders. One of them was Dendoncker. Raul Jimenez is onside on the right-hand side. Cavaliero's going to the far post. Jimenez, Cavaliero is there, but so too is Hueva, the young defender, and he managed to keep it from reaching the Portuguese man's feet at the edge of the 6-yard box. A good turn by Origi, but then he's dispossessed by Ruben Neves. Well, Neves' goal send Wolves through. It's going to be a thrilling final few minutes here at Molineux.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what's going to happen. Liverpool piling the pressure on, but Wolves are going to counter and counter at pace.
Cavaliero. Here's Ruben Neves. He was on the halfway line, and his ball through to Jimenez was a good one. And it's Camacho, the youngster, who plays it back to his goalkeeper Mignolet. He sends it long down the right-hand side. Lovely first-time control by Roberto Firmino, who's now played in all 28 Liverpool games this season, Roberto Firmino. Nice ball across by Shaqiri to Origi. Origi can return the favour by spraying it to the right-hand side to Roberto Firmino, right side of the penalty area. Volley's been drawn out of the penalty area. It's James Milner who sprays it out to Firmino. Firmino's cross is charged down by Vinagre, and that goes out for a Liverpool throw, and you can hear the roar from the Liverpool fans on the far side. They want an equaliser, and they want to get to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Change being made here by Nuno Espirito Santo, and it looks like Johnny will make way for Matt Doherty, and that's a straight swap at right wing back, Chris.
Yeah, Doherty's had a good season. Johnny been marauding up and down at Wolverhampton right flank, put in a good shift. Fresh legs.
Doherty is in, the 26-year-old Dubliner, who remarkably joined Wolves in 2010 after 15 unsuccessful trials at English clubs. And here he is now a Premier League stalwart and enjoying a good season. Liverpool have a corner. Willy Bolly, it was a low cross, it didn't reach the penalty area, cannoned off Bolly and went behind, and Xherdan Shaqiri, who was denied by John Ruddy and the inside of his left-hand post a few moments ago from the free kick, will now swing in a corner. Bolly has been good defending these so far. Swinging to the near post, it's Raul Jimenez who's at that zonal marking spot on the corner of the 6-yard box, who heads it clear. Camacho back in, skims off a Wolves head, goes across the penalty area, and now it's Mo Salah halfway inside the Wolves half, gets the ball back from Milner. Salah to the edge of the area, flick from Origi is untidy, headed clear by Bennett. Neves gives the ball away to Shaqiri, he shows too much of it to Willy Bolly, who thumps it out of play. Liverpool have a throw in an attacking position on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Liverpool building the pressure now. Bolly, there was only going to be one winner in that challenge. Full-blooded, wholehearted.
75 minutes on the clock at Molineux on 5 Live. Wolves lead Liverpool by 2-1. Ball back to John Ruddy. A few gasps around Molineux. They weren't too happy with that. It was a hurried clearance by the former Norwich man. He sent it directly out of play. Liverpool had a throw on the right.
Well, he did the right thing, didn't he? Took no chances. Ruddy at the ready.
25,849 at Molineux tonight. A capacity of around just over 31,000. So that's a decent turnout for a Monday night here in the West Midlands. Here's James Milner for Liverpool. And the age-old FA Cup conundrum. The last thing that Jurgen Klopp needs is a replay. Liverpool obviously don't want to lose the game, so you wonder why not put a stronger starting side out and try and win it in 90 minutes. They could yet do that, of course.
Yep. No, I think it's a very fair point. I think Liverpool in their position in the Premier League, it's hard to argue with Klopp's decision.
Firmino, nice bit of skill, but then his pass is intercepted by Wolverhampton Wanderers, who now attack down the left-hand side. That was a nice looking scoop by Vinagre, and he's now down the left. And the low cross comes in. Fabinho gets it clear, finds James Milner by his own corner flag. Calmly done by James Milner to find Camacho, who in turn infield to Firmino. Here's Keita. He's closed down by Jimenez, but he's got a bit of room. Keita can slide it into space. Shaqiri can turn. Origi making a run down the middle. That's opened up some space here on the left for Alberto Moreno. Origi going down the left-hand side. The square ball to Mohamed Salah. Edge of the penalty area is a nice turn. Beat one man. Ran into a second, but the ball breaks for James Milner. Wide to the left-hand side he goes to Origi. Switches to his right foot. Corner of the penalty area. He rolls a pass to James Milner. 2 runners on the far side, one of which is Camacho, but neither will get there. Willy Bolly read it well and nodded it nicely into the path of Vinagre, who sends it one way around Keita, runs around the other, but Keita gets back and wins the ball back for Liverpool. And Nuno Espirito Santo, just outside the technical area, just saying to his team, calm down. 2-1 they lead.
It's easy from the technical area, isn't it? Calm down. They're beating Liverpool at home in a rip-roaring FA Cup tie.
Firmino, here's Shaqiri. Camacho on the right-hand side, closed down by Vinagre. We'll see some of his skill here. Camacho, left-footed effort. Well, it was probably a shot, may have been a cross. Either way, it was in between the two and drifted harmlessly wide. Yeah,
disappointing chopping back inside on his left foot. Camacho was disappointing. Can Wolves hang on? In the main, I think the 3 centre-halves have been an immovable object, defended really well. Now they're up against the guile, the cleverness, the movement of Mo Salah. Origi just drifted out to this left-hand side with Salah central. Firmino just off him.
Liverpool haven't lost in the third round since 2011. They lost to Manchester United, but they have lost 5 of their last 7 when faced against Premier League opposition. Remember, Jurgen Klopp has never got beyond the 4th round. This is his 4th time around in the FA Cup. 11 minutes remaining at Molineux. 5 Live. Wolves lead Liverpool by 2-1 if you're just joining us. And it was a spectacular go-ahead goal by Ruben Neves from distance, beating Simon Mignolet down to his right-hand side. Nicely clipped out by Cody to Doherty on the right for Wolves, into the feet of Jimenez, who's been an excellent target man, an excellent foil for Wolverhampton Wanderers tonight. He opened the scoring in the first half with a tidy finish as well.
Yeah, excellent point. Got there just before me. Once again, Arlo, he has been really good as link-up.
And here he is again. And he finds Doherty on the right. Back it goes to Bennett. Wolves stroking the ball around confidently. I wouldn't say protecting this slender advantage at the moment, but he's gone underneath that clearance, John Ruddy, but he finds Doherty on the halfway line. His flick though falls to a Liverpool player. Moreno passes it short infield to Keita. Roberto Firmino has been perpetual motion since coming onto the field. He finds Shaqiri. It's a good foot in against Salah by Bolly. The ball finds Shaqiri again though. Here's Milner, and they do look more threatening in possession as they approach the penalty area here, Liverpool. Keita twisting and turning. Now Moreno. The Wolves fans respond to this pressure with a Nuno's Army chant, almost given away by Milner. But here's Shaqiri towards the penalty area. Bounces kindly for him, then Dendoncker gets back and makes amends for sliding in and almost intercepting, but missing that ball that was sent square by Milner. And here come Wolverhampton Wanderers down the left-hand side, and Jimenez is on the penalty spot. Can the cross find him? It's Caballero towards the byline, and it's over the head of Mignonet, and Doherty was forward as well. Can he retrieve it? No, it's Naby Keita in the left-back position who wins back possession for the Reds, who trail by 2-1.
And you see those three centre-halves of Wolves not moving, like three nightclub doormen, aren't they? You're not coming in tonight, Liverpool.
Sorry, Mo, your name's not on the list. But they do have 10 minutes to withstand the pressure. Firmino again. He's looked ever so dangerous in that number 10 position. Rolls it to the feet of Origi. He's going to the byline against Doherty. Doherty with a challenge, and it's a corner kick to Liverpool down their left-hand side.
Yeah, job done. Doherty there, 1v1. Stop the cross. Keep it simple. Milner jogging over. It's all about the delivery. Wolves zonal. One of the Liverpool attackers get in between those Wolves defenders and get that vital touch.
James Milner to send in this corner kick. He takes it short, in fact, to Shaqiri. Moreno has the angle on the corner of the area to cross it. He ignores that, tries to chip it into the run of Milner. It was too far, but then it's cleared only as far as Camacho, who's miles out. Left-footed effort! Oh, goodness me. Well, he sliced across the ball, Rafael Camacho, and everybody stood still. It was a statuesque John Ruddy as well, but in the end, to his relief, the ball dropped wide.
Yeah, he does well, shifts the ball inside, and he cuts across the ball. Ruddy was rooted, but well wide of that right-hand post. Costa for Jimenez.
Yep, Jimenez makes his way to the sideline. And Helder Costa will come into the game for the closing stages. Raul Jimenez with the opening goal in the first half. So Costa, who finally scored his first Premier League goal in that 3-1 win at Tottenham, it came in his 19th appearance. Nuno Espirito Santo said afterwards he has to do more. He has scored in the Carabao Cup as well. And here he is in possession for the first time, and he's around Hueva, left-hand side, through the legs of Hueva, towards the penalty area he goes. That's a wonderful recovery tackle by Hueva, who now, in possession, marches forward. Does brilliantly out to the right-hand side to find Shaqiri, who releases Mo Salah. Right side of the penalty area, he's got Firmino in the penalty area. Salah, shot takes a deflection, Ruddy got something on it, and that was almost a devastating counter-attacking goal from Liverpool. But Wolves keep them out.
Well, that's all it takes, isn't it? And here's Wolves on the attack. I think it was Bennett who actually headed the ball in front of Ruddy. I don't know whether that was creeping in, Arlo.
I think it might have been. It took a deflection. Here's Keita for Liverpool. Gets it back from Shaqiri. He's got a run of Mo Salah on the right-hand side. And goodness me, the pass is too strong. Salah would have been in on his left foot for a curler into the far corner, but in the end it's only a goal kick.
Really sloppy from Keita. Wasn't a difficult ball. Outside of the right foot, just overweighted the ball out of play. Mo Salah would have been in. One goal there, 1v1, would have been from an acute angle. We've seen him so many times be so deadly.
6 minutes remaining at Molineux. As it stands, Liverpool are heading out of the FA Cup. Things have got so serious, Jurgen Klopp has pulled the snood up to cover his mouth. Maybe that's to prevent us all and the television audience from seeing what he's saying. Remember, they lost to Manchester City last weekend. Their league cut to 4 points at the top of the Premier League. It was a good, strong side sent out by Nuno Espirito Santo, and he's getting his just desserts at the moment. Can Wolverhampton Wanderers hang on? Can they add to this lead? Either way, you wouldn't want to miss the final 5 minutes here Remember the 4th round draw to come with Mark Chapman after the game. Moreno for Liverpool. On the halfway line is Fabinho, an emergency centre-half today in the absence of Virgil van Dijk. Here's Milner, and he finds Hueva. Now it's Roberto Firmino who's seen a lot of the ball since coming onto the field, and as a result Shaqiri's seen more of the ball because Firmino's in the game. Here's Milner, centre circle again. Out to the left-hand side it goes to Alberto Moreno. Divock Origi's on the edge of the penalty area, so too Mo Salah, but he goes back and square to Milner. Now Firmino, surrounded by 3 old gold shirts. He's forced back to the halfway line to Hueva. He in turn finds Shaqiri nicely. Very tidy football from Liverpool. Long lofted ball towards the corner of the area. That's going to be difficult for Moreno, and he's beaten in the air by Doherty. And Wolverhampton Wanderers through Moutinho can bring the ball clear, but then he's surrounded by red shirts. But in the end, Moreno, he draws the foul. Moreno goes clattering into the back of him, and it's a Wolves free kick.
Perfect from Moreno, but Liverpool are playing with the necessary desperation now. They don't want to go out of this cup competition. They're giving it their all. Can they just create that one last opportunity and take it? Wolves doing what they should be doing, taking the sting out of the game, slowing things down.
Ruddy sends the free kick long into the Liverpool half. Caballero wins the header above Fabinho, and then Caballero goes to ground. Little tangle with Fabinho, and they were interested in that, and the Jack Hayward stand away to our right hand side, but Paul Tierney is not. Remember, we haven't even discussed it tonight. VAR is available, but it hasn't come into play, has it?
Well, I like VAR, but that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Here's Doherty, right touchline, surrounded by red shirts, but he's through Fabinho. Towards the byline he goes. What a ball that is across to his opposite number, Vinagre. In the end, he just skips past the front of him, but he keeps it in play. He retrieves it well out by the touchline. Caballero into Vinagre, could have been in. The pass is too heavy, it's behind for a goal kick. We've got 3 minutes remaining at Molineux plus stoppage time. Wolves lead Liverpool by 2-1.
Vinagre down that left-hand side. A real athlete, clever player as well, good outlet for Wolves. What a good young player he is.
And it's interesting how far forward the fullbacks or the wing-backs are getting, despite holding on to a lead. Because that back three are so solid, they can go hunting for a goal that at this stage would surely seal it. But here's Milner, and he plays it very short to Shaqiri. Shaqiri was looking for Salah. Willy Bolly steps in the way for the umpteenth time so far tonight. Back pass to Ruddy, first time being closed down by Salah, sends it into the Liverpool half. A good header won by Fabinho ahead of Helder Costa. And then look at the vision and the technique by Ruben Neves. A volley pass out to the left-hand side to Vinagre, and the crowd enjoyed that. Even amongst the tension, they can applaud a nice bit of play by Ruben Neves.
Got some artists in there, haven't they? At midfield, sublime from Neves.
Costa, well, he's offside. It would have been handball anyway as he bears down on Simon Mignolet's goal. We're inside the final 2 minutes. In fact, we've got around 90 seconds remaining at Molineux. As it stands, Liverpool heading out of the FA Cup. Wolves will be going through to the 4th round draw unless something very dramatic happens in the closing stages, something you wouldn't put beyond this Liverpool side, particularly with the likes of Salah and Roberto Firmino, second half substitutes on the field, and Divock Origi, who's already scored a goal tonight. He's no stranger to late heroics either. Milner, 20 yards outside the penalty area, right-footed pass out to the side of the area to Moreno. He stands it up, claims of handball against Doherty, which were mooted. It was never a penalty. And here's Costa released down the right-hand side, and he takes a touch off Fabinho, and he's out for a Wolves throw just inside the Liverpool half. And we've about had the 45 minutes, just waiting for the board now. It'll be held aloft by the 4th official, Andre Mariner. This has done the FA Cup the world of good tonight. What a way to end the FA Cup 3rd round weekend. This has been terrific.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. What an atmosphere. Brilliant performance from Wolves, but you've got to see it through, Wolves. And Liverpool under Klopp, they don't know how to give up. They don't give up. They'll be fighting right to the very end.
We've got Neves. Ruben Neves, sing the Wolves fans. He's been awarded with the Man of the Match award. That's just announced over the PA system. Here's Caballero to the byline.
Wow.
Thought about the cross. It may have taken a bobble in fairness to him, but it's gone sailing miles behind, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool. Andre Mariner raises the board, and glowing red is the number 3. 3 minutes of time added on at the end of this pulsating FA Cup tie at Molineux. Wolves lead Liverpool by 2-1. Time running out for the Reds. Here's James Milner. Liverpool travel to Brighton when the Premier League resumes at the weekend, protecting that 4-point lead. Long ball forward towards Mo Salah, and he brings the ball down, but then Ryan Bennett makes the challenge in his own penalty area. Is Connor Cody. He's been calmness personified tonight. Chips it to Moutinho. Now is Cavaliero dispossessed by Fabinho. The flag goes up. It is a throw-in to Liverpool. We've had 30 seconds of the 3 minutes.
It was good from Cody, wasn't it? I think everybody in the ground panicked, other than Connor Cody. Under pressure, just clipped the ball up in the right-hand channel and away from his goal.
This will mean a lot to Connor Cody, former Liverpool player. The ball into the penalty area. Firmino jumps for that. Bolly gets it clear only as far as Naby Keita. He lobs it into the penalty area. Salah is there, so too Cody, and Cody concedes the corner kick. And Shaqiri, no, it's Milner who will sprint across, right-footed to take
Mignolet's
it.
Up.
And here comes Simon Mignolet. What price? The Liverpool goalkeeper, making only his second appearance in 12 months.
100 to 1.
Here's a pound. Here's Milner, curls it out, and it's headed clear, only as far as Moreno on the edge of the penalty area. Play on, says Tierney. Wolves player down under the challenge. Mignolet has stayed in the penalty area. Camacho, wide it goes to Milner. The Liverpool goal is empty at the moment. Cody heads it clear. Is he going to have to get back here? Simon Mignolet. Camacho has it again. The Wolves fans are roaring. The ball out on the right-hand side. Down the line it goes towards Mo Salah, but it's a foul. It's a free kick, and Mignolet stays forward. Taken short. Mo Salah, closing stages, stoppage time here. Salah with the cross, bounces in the area. Fabinho with the header, and it's saved by John Ruddy. No power in it. And the crowd wanting to get it forward as Mignolet sprints back, but he's going to take his own sweet time, and why wouldn't he? We're inside the final minutes of the 3 added on.
Great run. Round the back from Mignolet. The ball deflected though into Ruddy's arms, who dives on the ball, takes a few seconds up.
Cavaliero goes to ground under the challenge from Camacho. Paul Tierney had a good view of that. No penalty. Liverpool in possession. Milner, surely the last chance now. Comes off Bolly last. It's a Liverpool throw, 15 yards inside the Wolves half on the right-hand side. The ball's back with Milner. Sends it forward towards the edge of the area. All eyes on Paul Tierney, the referee. Bennett wins another header. Nodded into the area. Bennett wins the header again. And Benagre just thumps it clear. And the referee blows his whistle. Wolverhampton Wanderers are into round 4 after a pulsating second half of Molineux, and for the second time in 5 days Liverpool are beaten and they are out of the FA Cup. A tremendous game of FA Cup football. The 4th round draw to come, and the ball of Wolves will be in the hat. Chris Sutton, how do you sum up that second half?
Great night, and it's hi-ho Wolverhampton, and they deserve to go through. You've got to talk about the save from John Ruddy. Fingertip save at 2-1, and that saw them through. Neves, brilliant strike, but pulsating game. But the best team won tonight. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They defended doggedly. Wolves looked a threat on the counter, and they're in the hat for the next round, deservedly so.
Celebrations here, Mark. It was a terrific cup tie, particularly the second 45 minutes. 2 excellent goals. Divock Origi, that was terrific for the equaliser. But Ruben Neves, goodness me, he loves to strike them from distance, and he's won the match for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Final score, Wolves 2, Liverpool 1.